Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Now before we begin, I do have to say, as always, a huge thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these glorious high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, cause without him, this series quite literally wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to pre-order your very own 501st Legion Clone Trooper, he is available from ToysWonderland.com. I have popped the link for that in the description below. They have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. Alright, enough about that. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, this 501st Trooper. Some of you are either thinking, wow, this is awesome, a live-action 501st Trooper. For those of you who don't know, in the prequel trilogy, all of the clone troopers, as far as I'm aware, they were CGI. So there weren't any practical costumes, but when Disney made the Obi-Wan series, they said, no, CGI is either too expensive or not good enough, so we're gonna make some practical suits, and unfortunately, there were some differences. On the other side of the fence, though, you may be thinking, oh no, all of my 501st Troopers, the ones that I've just army built, they're now obsolete. Well, I'll be addressing both of those points throughout this video. But before we do, let's talk accessories. And unfortunately, it's not all good news, you don't get a ton. Now, with the aforementioned 501st Battalion Clone Trooper from the Clone Wars, you did. Especially if you got the Deluxe, you got the 332nd helmet, the Phase 1 helmet, the Phase 2 helmet, you got the heavy repeating rotary cannon, you got the jetpack, you got blast effects, but not with this guy, you don't get any of that. You get a display base, a blaster carbine, a blaster rifle, and one droid popper grenade. Hot Toys didn't even see fit to include the one that's chopped in half to place on a droid. No, you only get one. Plus, of course, the usual suspects when it comes to hands. So, if accessory count is what you're after, stick with the 501st Battalion. Those, as I said, they come with a ton of stuff. You know what? Let's have a bit of fun. We may as well make it interesting. For everything that the new trooper does better than the 501st Battalion, it gets 1 point, and of course, vice versa. So currently, the scoreboard is 1-0 in favor of the Clone Wars version. Now, if you're thinking, Justin, look what they've done to my boy. They've just taken the 501st Trooper mold that we had before and slapped a slightly worse paint job on, more glossy, less weathering, lighter blue, and that's exactly what we have here. Well, actually, no, that's not what we have here. Hot Toys didn't do any of that. They took the base body and the jumpsuit and maybe borrowed the hands and accessories, but everything else is brand new. All of the armor is a new sculpt, which is crazy to think because making a new sculpt is really expensive. So Hot Toys assumes that we're gonna pick this guy up in numbers. And I don't know about y'all, but I actually prefer the look of the clone trooper from the Clone Wars. I like that shape of armor. I like having less lines and seams, and that crotch plate is a lot smaller. This one is huge, plus, not to mention the color is just better. I don't like this lighter blue. It doesn't match with Captain Rex. It doesn't match with Captain Vaughn. It doesn't match with the upcoming ARC Troopers and Heavy Weapons Troopers. It's just going to stand out for all the wrong reasons. So yeah, another point for the Clone Wars version. However, putting my positive hat back on, I'm not gonna lie, it's still a clone trooper. So if you missed out on the other 501st Troopers, you don't care about that dark blue, you don't have any of the other clone troopers in your display, and you were waiting for a representation of a live-action version, well, now's your time, friend. Jump on this one. This is the clone for you. Plus, that lighter blue kind of reminds me of Battlefront 2 from back in the day, so I guess it's not all bad. It's a little bit nostalgic. I'm not super happy with all of the seam lines on the armor, but maybe, just maybe, we won't know until he comes out, but it could potentially afford just a little bit more range of motion. Especially for the chest plate, you can quite clearly see under that elbow guard that, yeah, the front chest plate and the back plate, they're two separate pieces, whereas with the other clones, they're fused together as one hunk of plastic. Is there going to be some more flexibility? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see like I said. He does still have that floating belt, but now there's not this big diaper piece that tucks up under it. It kind of looks like the crotch plate is velcroed onto the suit, so I guess when you translate a pure CGI suit into a practical one for a TV series and the stunt performers actually have to move in the darn thing, yeah, there will be some cuts and creases and changes. Now, something that I literally just noticed, his blaster carbine is different. It looks like a brand new mold. Speaking of brand new molds, this helmet is different too. Some people prefer the battalion ones, and I don't know what I prefer. I'll have to wait until I get this in hand and I'll do a proper comparison, don't worry. For now, it just looks like a Phase 2 clone helmet. I'm so sorry. Just take away my Star Wars nerd card. I don't know all the differences between the vents and the shapes of the lines and the patterns and the grills, but I know there are some people out there who do, and if you do, let me know down below what the heck is the major difference between this helmet and the battalion one. I know that the earpieces are slightly different. We of course have slightly different markings and a completely different color, but everything else kinda looks the same to me. Maybe I'm just a clone trooper heathen and I need to study the differences just a little bit closer. Overall, do I like this helmet? Yes, absolutely. I love Phase 2 clone helmets. My preference is Phase 1, but this one is no slouch either. Alright, back to the points I made earlier. The first being about this now being that practical representation from Obi-Wan. It's just a little bit more canon. Not to say that the Clone Wars versions weren't canon, but they were kind of Hot Toys' own design. They took what was seen in the animated Clone Wars series and put this realistic coat of paint, this realistic spin on it, and that was our 501st Trooper. But now we have an actual on-screen, real-life, practical version of a 501st suit, and it looks like this. So, if you're a live-action purist and you've been waiting in the wings, you haven't picked up any clone troopers because this was going to be the one for you, well, go ahead and grab him, build your army. But if you were picking up the Clone Wars versions and those are your clones in the display, well, I reckon give this one a miss. He's going to stand out for all the wrong reasons. Do I prefer this one or the Clone Wars one? Well, if you've been keeping score, the win goes to Clone Wars, at least for me. I'll still be picking this guy up though and putting him through his paces in a review. Don't you worry. Now, if you are looking to grab one, or maybe multiple, they are available from ToysWonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.